Pat Boone, born Charles Eugene Boone on June 1, 1934, in Jacksonville, Florida, emerged as one of America's most recognizable entertainers by combining musical talent with an unwavering commitment to personal values. Raised in Nashville, Tennessee, Boone grew up immersed in Southern traditions, faith, and family, influences that would later define both his public image and private life. His academic journey took him from David Lipscomb College to North Texas State University before graduating from Columbia University with a degree in speech and English, an education that sharpened his articulate delivery and polished demeanor. At a time when popular culture was rapidly changing, Boone stood out as a reassuring presence for audiences seeking familiarity and sincerity. His clean-cut image was not a marketing invention, but a genuine reflection of who he was. Over the decades, this consistency helped Boone achieve something rare in entertainment: lasting relevance without scandal, built on trust, professionalism, and a clear sense of self. Rising stardom in the birth of rock and roll, the 1950s marked a turning point in American music, and Pat Boone was firmly at the center of that transformation. As rock and roll began reshaping youth culture, Boone emerged as one of its most commercially successful voices, offering a smoother, more accessible sound that appealed to a broad audience. His recordings introduced many listeners to rhythm-influenced popular music at a time when radio was sharply divided along cultural lines. Boone's success was immense. Dozens of charting singles, millions of records sold, and a steady presence on the airwaves that rivaled even the era's most electrifying performers. Rather than positioning himself in opposition to the changing musical landscape, Boone adapted to it in his own way, blending traditional pop sensibilities with contemporary rhythms. His popularity reflected a nation negotiating cultural change, and Boone became a bridge between generations, helping popular music expand while maintaining a tone of reassurance during a period of rapid social evolution. Television, film, and a carefully crafted image. Pat Boone's appeal extended far beyond music, as television and film became vital components of his career. Hosting his own weekly variety program from 1957 to 1960, Boone welcomed a wide range of musical guests, reinforcing his role as a central figure in American entertainment. His transition to film was equally successful, with starring roles in youth-oriented and family-friendly movies such as April Love, Bernardine, and Journey to the Center of the Earth. These roles mirrored Boone's public persona: respectful, romantic, and principled. While Hollywood often encouraged performers to chase trends, Boone made deliberate choices, turning down projects that conflicted with his beliefs. Though this may have limited certain opportunities, it strengthened his identity and deepened audience trust. Boone wasn't simply playing a role. He was presenting a consistent character across mediums, which helped him remain relatable in an industry known for constant reinvention. Faith, family, and life beyond. Fame central to Pat Boone's life was his devotion to faith and family, values he never treated as secondary to his career. A committed Christian, Boone frequently spoke at faith-based events and authored books centered on moral guidance, family life, and personal responsibility. His marriage to Shirley Foley, which lasted 65 years until her passing in 2019, stood as a rare example of stability in the entertainment world. Together, they raised 4 daughters and built a family life largely shielded from the turbulence often associated with celebrity. Boone's beliefs informed his decisions, from the roles he accepted to the causes he supported, and he was never hesitant to express them publicly. While his views sometimes placed him at odds with changing cultural attitudes, Boone maintained a respectful tone rooted in conviction rather than controversy. For many admirers, his life became as influential as his music, offering a model of consistency and purpose, reinvention, and the courage to surprise. Even decades into his career, Pat Boone demonstrated a willingness to defy expectations. In the late 1990s, He surprised audiences by releasing In a Metal Mood, No More Mr. Nice Guy, an album that reimagined heavy metal classics through his signature crooner style. The project, playful yet sincere, revealed Boone's self-awareness and sense of humor, proving he was comfortable, both honoring and gently poking fun at his legacy. Appearing in black leather at major award shows, Boone introduced himself to a new generation while reminding longtime fans that curiosity and creativity do not expire with age. Though reactions were mixed, the album became a cult favorite and underscored a broader truth about Boone's career. Longevity came not from resisting change, but from engaging with it on his own terms. His openness to reinvention reflected confidence, not contradiction. The myth of rivalry with Elvis Presley. For decades, popular culture framed Pat Boone and Elvis Presley as opposites, often exaggerating a rivalry that never truly existed. In reality, Boone has consistently described Elvis with admiration rather than resentment. While their public images differed sharply, Boone recognized early on that Presley possessed a rare and transformative talent. He has spoken of Elvis as shy off stage, deeply committed to music, and acutely aware of the weight of fame. Boone understood that Elvis was not merely a performer, but a cultural force reshaping music, identity, and expression. The so-called competition between them was largely a creation of media narratives eager for contrast. Boone now reflects on that period with clarity, emphasizing mutual respect rather than conflict. He acknowledges that Elvis's boldness expanded the possibilities of popular music, creating space for artists of many styles, including his own, to flourish during a pivotal moment in cultural history. Compassion, regret, and the cost of stardom. In his later reflections, Pat Boone speaks with deep compassion about Elvis Presley's struggles, particularly the isolation and pressure that accompanied global fame. Boone has expressed sorrow over Elvis's gradual decline, acknowledging how difficult it was for anyone to reach him amid the demands of celebrity. Rather than judging, Boone emphasizes understanding, describing Elvis as sensitive, generous, and overwhelmed by expectations few could bear. He has admitted wishing he had done more, spoken more openly, or offered greater support when it mattered most. These reflections are not attempts to rewrite history, but to humanize it. Boone believes Elvis was searching for peace and meaning, wrestling with questions of purpose that fame alone could not answer. In sharing these thoughts, Boone reveals his own empathy and humility, recognizing the shared vulnerability behind two very different public personas, shaped by the same extraordinary era. A career measured in consistency and achievement. Pat Boone's musical accomplishments remain staggering by any standard. Over his career, he recorded thousands of songs across genres including pop, gospel, country, and standards, reflecting both discipline and versatility. With 38 top 40 hits and multiple chart-topping singles, Boone dominated the airwaves during his peak years and maintained a continuous presence on the charts for an unprecedented length of time. This consistency required more than talent. It demanded professionalism, adaptability, and an ability to connect with audiences across shifting tastes. Boone's success was not built on fleeting trends, but on reliability and craftsmanship. While musical fashions evolved, his work ethic never wavered. These achievements place Boone among the most prolific recording artists in American history, not merely as a symbol of a particular decade, but as a sustained force whose influence stretched across generations and formats. Legacy, reflection, and speaking the truth at 91. Now in his 90s, Pat Boone reflects on his life with gratitude, clarity, and peace. Speaking openly about Elvis Presley is not an act of revelation, but one of respect and remembrance. Boone's reflections honor a fellow artist while acknowledging the human cost of greatness. His own legacy stands apart, defined by integrity, faith, and endurance rather than excess or controversy. Boone remains a reminder that success need not come at the expense of character, and that compassion can coexist with conviction. As he looks back, Boone's voice carries wisdom shaped by time, offering perspective rather than spectacle. In telling the truth now, he affirms both his admiration for Elvis and his own values, leaving behind a story not just of fame, but of humanity. It is a legacy rooted in sincerity, sustained by principle, and remembered for its grace.